Pop it. All right, guys. So, and I guess we can kind of just go back and forth. I'm going to ask some questions, and then one of you can answer, and then the next one can answer, and so on and so forth. So, my first question for you ladies tonight is just really telling us about who you were before it works, and then who are you now? Because me, I was a completely different person when I started, and yes, that story is important, but who I am now is even more impactful and important, just to show the process and the progress of the development that we get here within the business. So just go ahead, share a little bit about who you were before and then who you are now.
Tracey, why don't you go ahead and go, babe? You start us off.
Okay. Hi, guys. I am Tracey Jo Rose, a triple diamond in this company. I have been in the business for 3 years. And I want to say thank you for having me on here and letting me share my story. Mine is a little bit different. I'm 54 years old, so I'm like an old person in this business. And when I started, I was old already. So I honestly didn't even join the business to work it. I'm a registered nurse. I was doing travel nursing, very busy on the road all the time. I caught some girl's video on Facebook. I'd never even heard of this company, but I seen the coffee packets and I was like, I have to have that. And I hunted this girl down till I found her, ordered the coffee, and she, her and I had never talked, didn't know each other from Adam. And she asked me to join because I got 4 bags of coffee for $99 instead of 4 bags of coffee for 100 and something. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just, I just want the coffee. Don't ever ask me to sell it. I'll never do this. I'm too busy. I'm not here for extra money. I just want that coffee. And I was actually kind of rude to her. And I kind of laugh about it today because here I am, a triple diamond in this business and promoting it like crazy. But I fell in love with the products. I had great results. My granddaughter was being born, and I was a couple months into the business. I started in August, and this was in November, and I was on a travel assignment, and they asked me to, I said I had to leave because my daughter was being induced emergently. Her blood pressure was out the roof. And the doctor or the nurse supervisor said, if you can find somebody to cover your shift, then you can leave. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. I handed her my badge. I said, I am done letting you guys control my life. My entire life I have devoted to working, missing out on everything. I said, I'm done. I'm not going to miss my granddaughter being born. It's my first grandbaby. And I walked off the job and I left. I had all of intentions to go back to work a couple months later. And, but I just thought, you know what? I want to be here with this granddaughter. When she was born, I didn't want to miss a day. I was just like, so in love. I'm like, I could actually just start jumping into this business and working it more. And I was an emerald at the time that I walked off that job. I went diamond the next month. I went double diamond in January, and then I went triple diamond in February. In my first year, hit the top 150 income earners in my first year of being in this business, and with no intentions of even working the business. That's how crazy it is. And I think back on it to this day, what if she had never asked me to join? I would still be stuck working, especially right now with everything going on. I don't even like to think about it. I've seen my second grandbaby be born because of this business. It literally changed my life. And it makes me want to cry every time I think about it. Had I known that when I said yes to her, that God was actually answering my prayers over the years of what am I going to do with my life? I can't be a nurse the rest of my life. I'm getting older. So that's kind of like my story in a nutshell. And it was just the mindset change and my why changed. And I just believed in myself and I wanted it to work so I wouldn't have to go back to work. And I literally have not gone back to work as a nurse since that day that I handed that lady my badge. I officially retired that following year. My husband stood over my shoulder, watched me open my triple diamond check, seen it, asked if this was legit and if this was legal. And I said, yeah. And he said, don't go back to work. keep working this business. You were on that Zoom, Tay, you seen it.
Yeah.
So that's my story in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but I don't want to take up the whole thing.
Hey y'all, my name's Taylor. Tracey, first of all, we are on the same team. We run together. We're both ex-nurses, so y'all get the doses of the crazy nurses tonight, okay? But before this business, okay, I've been in the business for 6.5 years, okay? I started in 2015. I was freshly like in nursing school, working 2 waitressing jobs, living on my own, paying for school, lots of credit card debt, just like trying to survive, to be honest. Like nursing school was really hard for me. I didn't get good grades. I had to spend all of my time studying to even just barely pass nursing school. Like it was just tough. And actually when I started, I had just gone through and it's like a really bad sexual assault, and it was like something that caused PTSD and anxiety, and I just felt broken and I was angry at God, and I was just such a different person then, okay, when I started. And I like to say that because I think sometimes people will look at ambassadors or presidential diamonds and they're like, you've just always been confident. Like, no, sis, like I started a broken ass person, okay, with no confidence, with no faith in anything. And I was able, I mean, honestly, I feel like God put this in my line of vision because he knew it would draw me closer to him, number one. Number two, when I graduated nursing school, I couldn't go be a nurse because I failed my nursing test. And so I failed it twice. And so I was building this business while trying to study for my NCLEX and to finally become a nurse. And he had set me up with a full-time income with this as I was failing my test. And so sometimes we get in this and we don't ever think that we're really going to like need it. Like, yeah, everyone wants extra money, but like when you actually need it and rely on it, it's like, dang, now that it's here and it's in our opportunity, like it just, I was just that person that was like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to be rich. I'm not going to need it. I always thought when I started, I was like, this will just be temporary, like just for some extra cash. So I don't have to put stuff on credit cards. And I just was so small minded. But then when I failed my test and I needed it, I was like, okay, I got to make this work. And right after, I failed my test, I went diamond 2 months later. I took my account from distributor to diamond in 2 months because I had a drive, I had a why, I was fighting for something that I needed. And after I went diamond and I was making, $3,000, $4,000, that was more than what I would have been making as a nurse. And I was just like, dang, like this is crazy. And then once I became a nurse, I thought I had made it. Like I was making full-time nursing salary. I was making $10,000 as a double diamond with this business. I was like, shoot, I made it. And I kind of like, fell back. I lost my double diamond rank, and I've done all the things in this business, y'all. I've had almost $30,000 paychecks and I've lost rank and I've seen my paycheck dwindle. But my goodness, the number one thing that I feel like I've become is just such a better person. I have grown into a woman that's confident, that can, I could literally I feel like I can go and do anything because I proved to myself because of this business that like I can move mountains, and I can move mountains that are hard, and I can persevere, and I can like my discipline, like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't be this person if I wouldn't have said yes to this business. Okay. So yeah, the money's cool. Yeah, I bought our house. Yeah, this, that, and this. But like, my goodness, like who I am is because of this business. And so you can't get this growth anywhere else. Like they don't teach this growth in high school. They don't teach how to produce wealth in high school. They teach you go get a 9-to-5 and retire when you're old with no money in savings or whatever. Like that's what they teach. Like here we're building wealth. We're building impactful, a kingdom of people that are going to do big things and impact people. So yeah, I'm here for that.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. Just the fact of, like I said, the progress and the process of the person that you have to become in order to win in this business, in order to go, the ranks triple, double ambassador, you have to, it's a growth journey. And I was attending this conference this weekend, and a lot of, it was a virtual conference, and a lot of the things that they were saying was not new to me. but to majority of the people in that room, it was new to them. And it was like an aha, like, wow, like there is way more than the money and the opportunity to have unlimited income here in this opportunity. Like it's so much more than coffee, wraps, and Christmas cash. So with the next question, you guys are social media builders. I heard you guys are killing it on social. And so I wanted you to, or you guys to explain, like, how do you build on social? What does that look like in this season? Where are your distributors coming from? Is it Reels? Is it, attraction marketing? Like how are you building your business on social? Your best tips and tricks.
Tracey, I'll have you go.
Okay, I'm not frozen, am I? I can't
Nope.
tell. Everybody else is frozen. Okay. I'm ready to switch items here if I have to. Oh, goodness. Okay. So with me being older, I had to think about my following and what I wanted to provide and stuff. I couldn't just jump out there and, be this, my people that follow me and stuff, you got to be relatable, I guess, is what I want to express. And I just had this conversation with my team today is when I got into this business, I got into it not planning on, like, I don't even say that I sell anything. I don't sell anything. I share it, just like I share my layings or a Netflix series or whatever. I'm just sharing what I love. And that's how I do my business. It's almost like attraction marketing. I share my life. I be who I am. I'm not like Taylor. I'm not like Alyssa Marie or Kelsey. I'm the girl that's usually covered in cow poop in the farm and running like crazy and not picture perfect. My pictures aren't perfect, but people relate to that because they know that's how I am. And that's like my biggest tip to anybody is to stay true to who you are. Don't try to be somebody else, because they're not going to accept that, I guess you could say. So you got to be relatable. I share my story all the time. I'm always talking about what this business is doing, whether it's small wins of taking my grandbabies for ice cream to going to Mark's Island or something like that. It's big and small, and you got to share it all. Your struggles, your pains, and that's where my distributors come from, is people that have followed me and just watch my story. If I ever get a distributor that just signs on the drop of a dime that I've never met and they're new to me, we usually don't have that connection, and they don't usually stick around very long. So that's the way I get my distributors, not get them, but bring them onto my team, I guess, is just being relatable, sharing my story. They're going to have the same pains as I do. They're going to have the same struggles as I do. And that's what you want to always be portraying out there. And of course, consistency. I am constantly talking about the product. Every morning I'm drinking the coffee. Every morning, am I on my stories making it like a lot of other distributors? No, but every morning I'm drinking it and I always talk about it. And I'm always like, people know me for my coffee. I talk about losing 42 pounds in 3 months. I share my results. I share my friends' results. And that's where the customers will come from. So I think, is that where you were headed to? Sorry, I got distracted because my sister showed up and I had her locked out.
You're fine. I heard you were a loyal customer signing machine. So it's the sharing your own personal results and your own personal testimony. That's why step one is running your auto ship. So because the get the coins. And so the things that I love that you said was be yourself, be you. That's so true. The only way that you're going to attract your tribe and the people that are out there that want to join you and that you're supposed to touch is by being you. And so that is very big. And so thank you for sharing that. All right, Taylor.
Okay. So I'm just one of those people, I'm like, I just do it all. I don't know. I do it all. And so I think my enrollments are a mix of all of the things that I'm doing. And I feel like that's how this business works. Like, you can't just post and not grow your market. Like, you got to post and grow your market and show up and be consistent. You know what I mean? So For me, I think I get a lot of curiosity in my story. So I'm constantly doing polls. I'm showing my face. I'm showing my life. I'm talking about other things other than the business. And I'm doing a lot of I have a lot of engaging questions on my story. So I'm constantly seeing people vote. And I do a lot of engagement where it's not necessarily about a product, but it could be about a product. So I might I don't know, I might just have a picture of, my hair. I got long hair. And I might just put who on here is ever struggled with hair loss or hair growth, yes or no. Or it's not talking about the product, but it's talking about the problem, right? I'm problem focused in a lot of my posts. I'm emotion focused. I'm talking about, those things around what our problems solve. And I feel like when you start talking about the problem and you're having engaging questions about the problems, then those people engaging, then you're like, hey sis, I saw you voted and you struggle falling asleep at night. Hey, let me just tell you about this product. I don't know if that's something, have you ever tried anything in the past? Have you ever tried anything to help you with hair growth? Because here's what I found. This is what I have my hands on, and this is what I'm seeing a lot of results with. And I just wanted to put it out there, So I'm really problem focused, and I do a lot of emotion marketing. So I'm talking about the struggle of being a nurse, and I'm talking about being burnt out and feeling unfulfilled and being away from my family and not making enough money, feeling like I'm spinning my wheels. And I'm focusing on the hard parts of either the goals that I struggled with in the past that this business has helped me with. And I'm just that relatability, I think, is what it draws people in, because they're like, oh, I feel that too, or I feel burnout, or I struggle with credit card debt. And so I think just that transparency of my story and just putting it in everything that I'm doing, I'm constantly sharing it just in little blurbs on my story and on my wall, I think is really helpful. So I think people relate to me. But Reels and TikToks, ooh baby, if you're not on that train, get on the train. My goodness, it's the best thing since, you don't even have to pay, and it's almost like a sponsored ad, but you don't have to pay for it. Sponsored ads put you in front of people and you're paying for it. But this is you're getting in front of people and not paying for it. So that has been huge. I've signed a lot of customers and distributors from TikToks and Reels, and I have people reshare my TikToks and Reels to their story for host to post. I'm like, hey, you want a free entry? Share this video on your story, because I feel like video content just converts better. And so if you have a good TikTok or Reel that has a lot of views or engagement or whatever, you get text messages from it, have people share that to your story for you, because then you'll reach their audience. And that's something that's been working really well for me lately.
Oh, I'm definitely going to try that, because I'm a host of poster. Okay. So just giving me another thing to ask people to share. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really going to do that. One thing that I love that you said was you find the problem and you solve it. It was a book that I read. I can't even remember because I read so many, but it was basically saying, it's best to be a professional problem solver. That is what people, everybody has some issue going on and they're looking for a solution. And so you be the solution to whatever problem that they have. And that's good. That is so good. So thank you for that, because I'm definitely going to try the sharing the reels.
When you're just talking to people, it's ask them a ton of questions about their problem, to where they're talking about their problem multiple times. And then they're like, damn, I've been talking about this problem. What am I going to do about it? And then when you do your follow-up, you could say, hey, I remember you telling me you struggle with this. Are you still interested in fixing this? I don't know. I've just been trying to really get people to talk about their problem, weight loss or whatever it is. And I think that does help.
Yes, that's so good. That is so good. Okay, so the business builder kit, it went from $99 to $149. So the $149 kit, I want to talk about that. What does your clothes look like with your potentials? Are people ready and willing to invest the $149? If they don't have the $149, are they willing to go find it? Or are they pre-selling? What does that look like? Tracy?
I actually love, I sign a lot of distributors when it's $20, $39 or whatever. But I can tell you, I preferred it to be 99. When they went to 149, I'll be honest, I was like, man, I don't know. But I just ran with it. Just, I mean, because that's what it is. And I know myself, I would pay 99 a month if they asked me to. I would. So 149 to get started, I just had, you have to, what I started doing, really, to be honest with you guys, is I have my general like messages that I use, but I'm voice texting them or getting them on the phone. Melanie, can you put him outside? Um, my dog's mine. But what I've been doing is getting them on the phone, and I'm like, just get them on the phone, and I'm just like, hey, let's be real. This is what it is. You're not going to just join and be rich overnight. It is going to take a little work, but it's worth it. And if you just do the things that I show you, let me show you how to do it. It can absolutely happen. And I just be real with them. And once they hear that and you get in that conversation, I'm spending a good half hour or more on the phone with these people, and they're signing, they're joining, they're not even questioning that it was 149. For one, you guys, listen to this. For one, what I actually, okay, here's a tip for you guys. What I started to do is I created my little triple threat message for people. I was promoting coffee, the gummies, the metabolism burner. So I always ask, what are your eating habits like, and what's your goal weight, that you want to lose? They tell me, I send them that message of the skinny brew, the gummies, and the thermophyte X. How much is it? I give them the rundown, 138, because that's what it is, 138. So 138, and they're like, well, actually, I created a message. It's 138, and then at the end of that message, I put, but honestly, for $11 more, you could get all of this, plus another 5 bundles of coffee that you can either keep for yourself, which is another bag and a half, or a bag, and then or make $100 on it, and have the opportunity to make money. Why not, for $11 more, just join? Let me show you. You can absolutely do it. And they're like, yeah, why not? If you can get them promote that triple threat product and get them interested in that, then all you got to do is $11 more. Who's going to say no to that? Now the other ones that I aren't promoting that to, the triple threat to, I'm actually just getting in conversation with, I'm just getting them on the phone and being real, because I don't want to waste my time anymore signing people that aren't going to work. It's wasting my time. I would rather work with people that know right off the bat, this is what we're going to be doing. And just working with them, and they're more willing to work. And that is actually how I got the bonus in the first couple of months, was from just signing people that were interested in truly working. So those were my 2 tips on signing distributors and getting quality ones. And I can share that message with you guys.
Yes, that is gold. Like, oh my. Okay, so it was one point, I think we had $20 businesses or something like that, $20 startup. It was like the first time we had it. I was doing like a whole bunch of cleanser, like Target Trio packs. And so what I would say is I would, get them to commit to the Target Trio, and then say, for $20 more, you can make money from your results, because I'm going to make money from your results. But if you want to, add an additional $20, we can both make money from your results. And so that is gold. I am definitely going to take that and run with it. That is sweet. All right, Taylor, what you got?
Personally, I feel like definitely getting them on the phone. Like, I did a call with a girl today, and as soon as I broke her down, like, the pricing to get started, I think the biggest thing is like letting them see the value, and I was just like, I took it back to even just like nursing or even waitressing. I'm like, I invested $30,000 to become a nurse, but I knew the return on investment. I knew I was going to make money, and this is what it was. And I told her, like, today, I was like, you're going to invest 150, get all of this, and then make that investment back in your first week when you hit your first goal of helping 4 people. And I think just letting them know it's so simple. I'm like, you sign 4 people and you make that back right away. and you just launched a business for free and got a ton of awesome products that would have been over $200, you know? So I think letting them see the value, number one, reassuring them that anything you do in life, you have to invest. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I paid $200 in scrubs to even just go be a nurse. Like, you know what I mean? So I think showing them, giving them explanations like that so they can see, oh yeah, like I did pay for all my business wear to go to work. Or, oh yeah, I did have to pay $50 for non-slip shoes to be a waitress. Like there's always an investment. There's always a cost. And so I think giving them examples like that, that's relatable to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, giving them the value of this is what you're going to get. And three, just pouring belief and saying like, look, sis, like, I know that you can do this. You know, I know that you can do this. And if I do have people that can't afford the 150, I offer them, hey, let's see if you can, you know, apply for PayPal credit or Klarna or one of those quad payment apps that breaks up the payment. And if that doesn't work, then I go strictly into, let me help you pre-sell some of these products and samples. Because if you're that desperate and you're really wanting to make a change, like you're going to be willing to pre-sell some dang samples. And if you aren't, then this probably might not be your route you want to go anyways, right? Like you want to be selling samples. You want to be getting out there talking to people. So, you know, I had a girl from Canada a couple months ago, and, you know, she pre-sold her keto coffee that came in her starter kit. And so, you know, people could pre-sell the gummies that come in the kit. You know what I mean? Like sell the gummies for $60 or sell the skinny brew that comes in the kit for however much. And you can easily make that investment. It's just coaching them before they join, right? And, you know, our team, we have a sample page that walks people through, like, make this post. This is how you sell the samples. But when I'm talking to a potential, like I'm back and forth talking to them. If they're trying to pre-sell, like I'm coaching them as if they just started my business. And I'm not just like, here, put this post up and let me know if someone comments. Like I'm following up with them. Like, hey, let's send out this message to 10 people today. Like, let's see if we can get some conversations going. Hey, put this up on your story. If people vote on this poll, let's send out this message. Like I'm like coaching them before they even join. And I've had a ton of distributors sign up pre-selling their samples before this could even happen. People were pre-selling it to join for $99. So I know that they could pre-sell to join for $150 too.
Yes. Yep. The trick is, like you said, coaching them as if they've already started, because this is what we're going to do anyway. Mm-hmm. Had you invested your $149 or whatever up front, this is the process that we would be going on. So I'm just going to start it now. That's good. And then also you yourself seeing the value in the opportunity and in the investment, allowing you to be able to translate that value into the person you're talking to so that they can see it as well. Because that was going to be my question, like, how are you getting them to see the value? But it just really comes with you seeing the value in what it is that you have to offer. So that's really good. Okay, so with the new
another tip, okay, just touch on sorry, I just wanted to touch on what Tay said, because Tay's my upline and is freaking amazing. Like everything I learned from her. Now, I remember when I started, so if anybody, I don't know who we have on here, if it's like all like diamonds and above, or if it's new people that joined yesterday, everybody. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're new and you feel uncomfortable with when you get somebody in a conversation, or you've got somebody that's interested in you're like, I don't want to get them on the phone. I don't know what to say, and they're not going to hear the confidence. Get with your upline or somebody. Like we make all of us available to everybody. Like if you're talking to a nurse, they're going to call me or Tay, and we're going to do a 3-way. Get somebody to help you seal the deal. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't lose and let that person miss out on opportunity because you're unsure yourself. And the more you do that, the more you're going to learn that confidence by being on those 3-ways. So just one tip, that's how I learned. I would go to Tay, help, I need help. I don't know what I'm doing. So don't be afraid to do that. So I just wanted to add that on there.
No, that's good, because 3-ways are gold. Like not only does it, it's like a strategy. So it shows them, you know, not only somebody that looks like them or that they can relate to, but it also shows the togetherness and the help that they will have, you know, coming in. It makes them feel secure in that they won't have to do the talking by themselves, that they will have somebody there to talk with them. So that's good. So with the new 4-in-1 system and us being able to slow down to speed up, quote unquote, what does your onboarding with the new distributor look like now as opposed to before? Like, what's the process and the interaction to get them and walk them through getting their own 4-in-1? Tracey, you wanna go?
Mine will. I'll go first because Taze will be the bomb.
Stop!
I'm serious. No, I'm serious. I still struggle with this. To this day, 3 years later, there is no perfect formula to it. I've come to the conclusion that, when they said this 4-in-1 and brought this out, I was like, I was actually in the background going, yes, because now it gave me permission to slow down and just work with 3 people. So in that is a struggle. So literally what you have to do is take each person one by one. And I'm telling you, I'll be honest, it's been a lot of work because I'm just taking that one person and I am spending 100% time, the majority of my time, literally walking them through every step, talking to them every day, trying to keep them focused and functioning on the right path. But the thing I found with mine is when I tried to do a set pattern, everybody was different. So I really needed to spend that time to find out what type of person they are. I've got some that like to work at a little different and are a little slower or want to do it at a slower pace. I got other ones that are like way ahead of me. And I'm like, whoa, I haven't even gotten to that yet. So you kind of got to just deal with that person as just that person, and hold their hand, get them started, then move on to the next one. It's kind of good that you only have 3 that you can just focus on. It's going to give you more one-on-one time, and then you've got that connection with them, and you actually become really close friends with them. I've really gotten to know these ladies, and now I love having them on my team. It breathed life back into me to hear their excitement. So I'm just kind of like winging it and just going the steps like when I started, what I wanted to know, what I needed to lead, and literally just messaging them what they needed for the moment, not giving them too much to get overwhelmed. And then I kind of like go over to Tay's page and get on her new DT training and stuff, because she's the bomb. She is the bomb at training in DT.
Oh my goodness, you're
so
crazy. I'll come over there and whoop you. Don't even downplay you. She's a boss, seriously. She signs and builds like a crazy person. She's awesome. But I'll go ahead and just share just a little bit about what that training process looks like. I have like a board app for, it's just like a 7-day training that I use it, but I use it lightly because I do think, you know, a lot of it needs to be personal. So the first day, I walk through, I ask them a list of questions just to kind of get through their goals. Like I ask them like, where do they see themselves, in a year from now? Like, what does that income look like? What do they want to pay off? What do they want to save for? What obstacles do you think might be in your way? How can I best serve you? Like, how often do you want me to check in with you? I kind of just ask those kinds of questions to kind of get started, just to kind of see like where they're at in their life and what they're shooting for. And then I use those answers on the first Zoom call that I do with them. So usually after the second day, like the first day, they're sharing their announcement post. I give them a message challenge to reach out to, like friends and family. And then I kind of get them engaged into like the team pages and some of the resources. On day 2, that's kind of where I try to get them on the phone or a Zoom of some sort, because I do think the connectivity is so huge. And I feel like the amount of people that I've trained, the ones that don't get on a call with me, they're gone within a week or less than that. The people I get face to face with, they hear my excitement, they see my vision, they hear my passion, they hear my belief in them. And that's the part that gets people in the business invested emotionally into the business. And so I think getting them in person on the phone of some sort within their first couple of days is huge. It's crucial. Because then once you have that rapport with them, when you are, helping them with posts and helping them with messages, they're going to see that they're doing their work for a purpose, right? Because on that call, you're talking about their goals and their why. And when they can tie their why to the work, they're going to want to do the work. It's like, if you want to, save for a car, let's just use that as an example. Well, if I tell you, hey, you complete this 4-in-1 step 3 times, and you're putting in the work doing these things to get these results, when you get these results, you can have X, Y, and Z. And so then their brain is like, oh, so if I'm messaging and I'm doing host to post and I'm posting consistently and I'm growing my market, then I'm going to get results. And then when I get results, I'm getting paid. And then when I'm getting paid, I can go have this. And so if that connectivity doesn't happen, what in the world is going to make them want to go send out 50 host to post messages? No, nothing. Like, if you were told to go flip hamburgers at McDonald's and you weren't getting paid, would you go? No, I wouldn't go either. But if they told you you're going to go flip hamburgers and make $100, okay, like, it gives you an incentive. And so I think you have to have their why down. You have to have them say out loud why they're doing this. So that way, when you are guiding them, texting them, here's a good post, here, put this up, here, let's go grow our market, they're going to know, okay, I'm doing these things because I know why I started and what I'm working for. And then they're going to want to do it. So, but daily, I mean, that first month, it's just like check-ins, weekly. I try to get on calls at least weekly, face-to-face with people, just to say, like, how has this week been? Like, what do you feel like you're struggling with? What do you feel like you're doing really good at? And just kind of like asking those questions and see where they're struggling. Because I think when you get them on the phone or you get them face to face and you start asking questions, then you're going to be like, oh, you're actually struggling with this, but you never text me. But because we got on the phone or we got face to face, I now know you're struggling with the fear of what other people think. And so, like, you don't know a lot of their struggles until you ask the right questions. And that's what being a good leader is. It's really just you ask good questions. And then they're the ones talking, right? And then you know how to lead them because they're answering the questions.
That is so good, Taylor, because that's what I'm working on, asking the right questions as a leader. So that is really good. I did have a question in the comments for you, Tay. How are you converting like your potentials from your TikToks and your reels to eSuite? Like, so what does that look like?
Honestly, just call to action. So if I'm making a TikTok or a reel about the products, I always have like message me the word coffee or text the word coffee, and then I put my phone number. Personally, I don't know what it is, but I get way more text messages when I do that as a call to action. Like, I'll say text the word coffee for samples or text the word income for more information. And I'll just get text messages constantly from those TikToks and reels. But even in the caption, I'll say, like, go message me on Instagram or go follow me on Instagram to learn more about what I'm doing and message me the word whatever. But those call to actions are how I'm getting people to contact me or to follow me or to convert them from one platform to the other. So I always have a call to action.
Yeah, that's good. I do get a lot of more texts as well too when I do the call to action. So yeah, that's good. So you spoke about, your having your new distributor attach their Christmas cash to something, basically, in order to get the ammo to really go after it. So I want to ask you guys, like, why is being successful so important to you all? And like, have you attached your Christmas cash to something? And if so, what is it?
Ooh, that's good. Tracey, I'll have you go first.
Well, I had it attached to our camper, but it's getting attached to a lot of other things too. I'm like, well, maybe I need to use it here. Maybe I need to. So I'm actually working towards a second one because I'm like, maybe I need another one. Maybe I need more. I wish I had hit it three or four times. But really, it was just, mine was just to prove to myself that I could do that. That's usually what drives me, is just to prove to myself that I can do that. And the other thing that drives me is I want my team to get it. That fills me more than anything. My sister, who just got here, she's a diamond on my team, just earned it pretty much like a day before I did. I was like, oh, she gave me a run for my money. And her why was just so strong. The minute they announced it, it was nonstop for her, and just watching her. And I was like, I just want to see her get it. I want to see this other DT that started that was crying to me when we were talking about attaching, what is it that you want this 3,500? And this lady, I didn't really know her, and she's like on a Zoom, and she just started crying. She says, I just for once want to provide my kids with a real Christmas. And oh my God, it just broke my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that's when it set into me. It's not even about what I want it for anymore. It's about, I don't even know what a lot of their stories or whys are for that Christmas cash. And to hear that, wow, it just blew my mind. And that's that they hit it right on the nose. Have them attach that, and think about what you want it for. My daughter is a nurse, and she's going to have to walk from her job. And she's a double diamond on my team, but she stepped away from the business. She had 2 kids and working full time, and she just started to step back in out of nowhere. What made her decide to jump back in just a week ago? She's listening to my prayer Zooms and stuff, and then today she called me crying and said, I'm going to have to leave my job. I'm going to have to leave my nursing job, and kind of being forced. And she said, it's weird. I just jumped back in this business, and I don't know if I can do this. What if I'm not successful or whatever? And I'm like, anything that you set your mind to, you can be successful at. You had no clue how to be a nurse, but you set your mind on that goal and you became one. You set your mind on anything in life. It doesn't have to be a major career. It can be anything in life. You set your mind on it, you can accomplish it. And that's what I told her. I said, you could absolutely sign 3 DTs right now, and we get them started, and we get them trained, and you could earn that Christmas cash. Anybody could do that. That could happen in a day, a week. We've got plenty of time. So even if you haven't hit it yet, why are you counting yourself out? Don't count yourself out. You could just randomly sign 3 people out of the blue. You ask God to send it to you, He will send it. He will answer you. So you got to be careful what you're asking for. Because I had one of my distributors telling me, I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm trying to do my stuff and get my orders and my customers, and I got all these DTs and they're driving me crazy, and I don't know how to train them, and I'm just over. And I went, whoa. You prayed for this. You prayed for this. You prayed for those distributors. So step back. Let's deal with your distributors. Don't worry about your orders and stuff right now. You brought them in. That is your main goal, to get them going. You just got to shift your focus and breathe. So be careful what you're praying for, but don't forget to pray for it, and He will bring it. He will bring it. So don't be afraid. It's the same way God brought my daughter back in this business. A week later, she's having to leave her job. You guys don't count. And I don't know how I went off onto this tangent, but you can do anything that you set your mind to. You can. You got to set your mind to it. You got to set your mind, make that decision. I think Michael Todd is the one on Crazier Faith just talked about that the other day.
Yes.
You got to make the decision. So make the decision. You're going after that 3,500, and just do it. And just then tag me in the post when you get it, because I know you can do it.
Yes. So good.
That was really good. Taylor.
What was the question again? I'm so sorry. I'm just like,
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. Look, Tracey took it. Look, she took it out the park, knocked it out the park. So the question was, why is successful important to you, and what have you attached your Christmas cash to?
Oh, okay. Man, like success, I feel like it's like in my blood. Like I have to have something that I'm shooting for and striving for, and like that's just like growing, right? Like you have nothing that you're pushing for, and you have nothing that you're fighting for, and you have nothing that's hard in your life. Like if you live an easy life, like you will be broke forever. Like easy is a job. Easy is doing the bare minimum. Easy is not stretching yourself. And like most people do have it easy, But like when you have something that's hard, and I wouldn't say this business is hard, but I mean, it's a challenge, it's growth, it's, you got to be disciplined, you got to show up every day when you want to, when you don't want to. So that part is hard. But like, if you don't have that, like you're not growing. And I know for me, like I have to see progress in my life. I have to see progress in anything that I'm doing. That's what drives me, is seeing progress in myself and in other people. So that, yeah, success is just, it's not optional. I have to be successful, and I'll always figure out a way. And I think that that's the recipe to success, is having the mentality of, I'm going to figure it out. Like, I'm going to figure it out, and I'm not going to give up until I figure it out. And I think when you have the goal in mind and you have the mindset of, I'm going to figure it out regardless, by default, you will find success right there, like right there. So my Christmas cash, obviously, okay, so we just moved to South Carolina, and we have this kind of like sunroom area that is all windows, and I wanted to use my Christmas cash to finish that room, okay, because it's going to be a couple grand to finish that room. I mean, we need like, I was wanting to kind of do like a window seat that like lined the room, you know what I'm talking about? Like a window seat that has like cushions on it, and there's like little like nooks in it. And like that's like so expensive. I'm like, okay, I need to make my Christmas cash to pay for that, because that's a lot of money to just finish that room right there. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for to do, and I will get it. So
yes, one thing that I loved was the decision to figure it out. Like that was me when I started this business. I didn't know nothing about direct marketing, selling anything, but I saw the opportunity and I figured it like this. If one human being can do it, it's just an example that any human being can do it. And I'm going to, me myself, figure it out.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop. And so I've been here 7.5 years. Yes, it was a journey to get to where I am. And it's still a process to get to where I'm going, but I'm committed to figuring it out. Like that's just what it is. I'm committed to that. And so, but I'm excited to see that window seat. Okay. Because
girl, I know.
Figuring out what my dream home is going to look like. And I might need some ideas from you. So I'm excited to see that window seat. So I have a question about basically, I know you guys talked about connecting the value of the business to potentials, but speaking for people who have been here for a while and, you know, maybe know too much or bumped their head, and people who are, you know, coming onto the team, actually signing up, how are you guys translating the value of what we have here in this opportunity and in this business to your team? And like maybe I think Cammie calls it transfer and belief. Like how are you guys doing that in order for your team to walk in boldness and confidence when it comes to this business?
Tracey, do you want me to go or do you want to go? You can go if you like.
You go ahead and go first on this one, because this one's a little struggle for myself.
Yeah. Okay. So I think transferring belief is honestly just sharing your vision and your goals, your vision and goals for where you see yourself going. And I think by default, that inspires people to know that they're coming on for the ride. And then that helps them like kind of see like, oh, she's going for that. Like, what can I go for? And so I think the biggest thing is, number one, being loud about your vision and being loud about your goals with your team, because then they know like what you're fighting for, and they know that they're going to be a part of that. And I think having like just making people feel included in that, and just knowing that like, man, I'm going to like be a part of this promotion, or I'm going to be a part of this big goal. And then what's that going to look like for me? You know, like I've always felt inspired knowing I'm a part of someone's promotion, or I'm a part of this next movement or this thing. And, you know, I think it is easy. I don't know how long y'all have been in the business, but I've been in the business for, you know, almost 7 years now. And so you know, momentum is created, number one, through you as the leader. And sometimes you just need to like take a step back and say like, what am I doing to create momentum in my team, and what needs to shift? So, you know, we're about to do just like we're kind of like taking our team page and doing just like this new rebirth of it, where we're, you know, going to be going on a new run. We're kind of hyping it up. Like, we're saying, tune into this live Zoom on Friday, and we're going to like announce this big thing. And so I think it's just like being intentional with making it exciting and fun, but also like vision casting where you're going. is so huge, because if you're not leading your vision of what you want and what you're working towards and where your team is going, they're not going to have a single clue how to even cast that for themselves. And I think it is important in different seasons of the business to have vision casting Zooms in smaller like settings. You know, me and Tracey, we've done multiple with her team, just getting like 4 or 5 of her people that are, you know, working the business and just asking questions, having people go around and say, you know, what are you saving for? What do you want your life to look like in the next 5 years? What inspires you? What excites you? Where do you want to travel to? What kind of car is on your dream board? Like, what do you want your dream house to look like? And just helping people like just kind of think outside of their normal and actually like, what do I actually want if I could have anything? And just getting them in that thought process, I think helps people kind of see like, wow, there is way more out there that I could be pushing for. And that is exciting to think about. And I think it's just asking those right questions. It comes down to asking those right questions. So
yes, it's so good. It's so good.
But goals.
Taylor's the bomb on vision casting. Me, I tend to get stuck. Like I only vision cast so far, but Kelsey actually pulled us out of that with this little exercise that she had us do. And it actually made me think, you know, I've been in the business for only 3 years. I say only because I've still got another 10, 20 more. And I was just dreaming so far ahead, but it made me think about, you got to think about when you were a little kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Or when you were in school or in your 20s and you're like, what is one thing that you always wanted to have? Like I always wanted to have a farm that provided for like therapy for disabled and problem kids and stuff like that. Well, where would I get that income to create that farm? It wasn't going to come from a nursing salary that was getting me paycheck to paycheck, but a business like this where you can write your own check. This isn't my life. This is just what's helping me build the life that I want. If that makes sense. It's giving you the means to do your dream or whatever. Go after your bigger dream. Yeah. So don't think about this as it. This isn't it. This will always be a part of my life. I'll never walk away. But this is like your I don't even know. Yeah, your vehicle to get you to those dreams. And if you're not thinking about that, stop and think about it or journal about it, or you know, like get on a vision casting Zoom, or I'm sure Rachel has done them. She could just talk to you for a minute and you've already like just got life back into you. So get on something like that and just write them down. You just write a bunch of different things down and just start thinking about it. And then when you get your team doing that or talking to other people, then they're like, wow. And then now they're thinking about it and it just kind of snowballs. So, yeah, I'm not good on it, but Taylor is, and she's the one that's taught me all of that. Just to dream bigger, just dream bigger. You're dreaming small.
And one really simple exercise is like create a list of 50 things that you want. And I know that sounds so easy, like, oh, 50 things. But I guarantee you, when you put your pen to paper and you're trying to think of 50 things, you're going to struggle. You're going to run out of things. I promise you. Try it. Try it tonight. 50 things. And that was something that I started way back when. I was like creating lists of things that I wanted, just dreams, big things, small things, everything in between. And as you write these things down, number one, I think God speaks to you. And if you are just quiet for a second and you're thinking about things that you're wanting, or maybe you're praying about it, things will come to you and you're like, man, I never would have thought to want that or to be able to do that. And so I think it's very powerful to actually sit in just silence and start creating that list for yourself, because things will show up and you're like, what? I would have never thought that I would want to do that. And things will just come to your mind. And that's, 90% of the things you'll ever accomplish is because you've written it down and because you've planned for it. And if you don't write it down and you don't plan for it, it's not a vision. It's just in your imagination. And so you got to have a vision for what you want your health to look like. Write it down. You want to have a vision for what your marriage looks like. Write it down. A vision for what your finances look like. Write it down. In the Bible, Jesus said, put it to templates, write it on the stone, like write it down, or it's not a vision. And so I had that conversation with my husband just the other day. If you haven't watched that Michael Todd sermon, it was about vision. That's what he was talking about. And I was just like, babe, we got to like have a new vision for our marriage, for our finances. Like we got to sit down and write it down together on paper. And that's what we did. And it was just so helpful to just see like the big picture of what we wanted. And I think it's important to do that every couple of years, you know, if you haven't done it in a while.
Yes, that is so good. It's the vision. Like, and like you were saying, the vision in every aspect. Because when I listened to that sermon, I was convicted because I have vision in certain aspects, but not every aspect. And so it was like, oh yeah, I need to get clear on what I want my body to look like. Like not just the pounds, but like what do I actually want it to look like? Like, yeah, so that is so great. And like you said, like you have to have vision in order to even tell your team or like really get them on fire to have a vision for themselves. Somebody's following a parked car. And so if they don't know that you're going anywhere, they don't think that they need to get up and move either. And so just being able to cast that vision and instill belief in people that they can have more and have beyond. And so that's good, ladies. That is so good. And so we're coming up on our last couple minutes. This has been amazing. Like, shout out to you both. Like, I am just so filled up. I'm probably gonna go watch this again because I it's a lot of things that I want to write down. Okay, so any last tips or any last things on your heart that you would like to say to the squad before we get out of here?
I would say, y'all, like, you know, I think that obviously finances is what pulls us into this business, and that's what a lot of us are motivated by money. If you're red, where my red's at, y'all motivated by some money. Okay, you see a dollar sign, you're like, yep, I'm gonna go do whatever I need to do to get that. But I think like even just knowing that you have influence every single day on your social media is number one. And the impact you can make on people is so much greater than any dollar amount. Okay. And take it with a grain of salt when I say this, but like, even the people that come into your business and leave your business, know that like even if you're having people leave your business, like this might have been the thing that like led them and gave them the confidence to the next thing that God had for them. And so don't be so consumed with who's coming, who's leaving. Just be here, be present, be a light, be an example of just someone who's here for impact, right? Because this is so much more than making a little couple $100 here and there. Like this is something that is truly impactful. And so lead your business with that mentality and lead your business to serve people and lead your business to not expect anything from anyone. Like, don't expect anything from anyone. And I promise you, like, you will have more fun in this business when you drop the expectations and you're just focused on serving people and helping people and connecting with people and giving them the opportunity. And like, don't be like, oh, if they quit, it's on me. Like, no, just bless and release. If people come into this business and they leave, like, that's okay. At least they're leaving with better. Like, at least you've probably had the conversation to do self-development, and they might now do this now because they learned that from you. Okay. Like, don't take it so seriously, but like, have vision for where you want to go, be consistent, be on fire, and you will attract the right people into your business by default. Okay. So check your energy. That's the biggest thing. Like, if you have good energy and you're excited, like, by default, the right people will come to you. And by default, God will bless your business because you're moving your feet, you have energy, you have vision, you're doing the things, you're doing the work. Like, it's all going to happen. It's just his timing, not yours. That's it.
Yes, that is so good. That's one thing that I had to realize and really check myself on, was not getting wrapped up in the fact of people leaving, because the people who have left my squad have left better.
Right.
Even if they, they came and they left, they have left better, like in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so, yes, that is so great. Like, you may just be like you said, the piece to get them to the next step or the next blessing or the next journey that God has for them. So that's so good. Tracey, you got anything? Or
they may have been on your path to teach you something as well. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what I struggled with. I've had people walk away, best friends walk away. But I guess the thing I want to leave you with is you got to remember, it's not just because they leave or some people don't have the same vision as you, just because they don't want it as bad as you or want more for themselves, that doesn't shouldn't take away yours.
Mhm.
So, and that's what I used to do is people would walk and I'd be like devastated. But wait a second. Um, just because they don't want it, that means I can't keep going. No, you keep going. And anybody can do this in this business. Um, honestly, your tests are your testimony. That's what you need to do. You make your test your testimony. Um, that is it with life. It's what the Bible teaches. It's the same way with this business. You bless others, God will bless you. You just keep your focus on blessing forward. He is giving you this business to be a voice. What now, I don't care what your history is, where you came from. Back when I was 18, remember I'm 54. When I was 18, I was uh, freaking getting beat up by my husband, getting shot, going to prison, doing drugs, wanted to die. Um, I mean, just so many things that I thought I would never survive, and I was just like, "This is it. This is I'm worthless, whatever." But then I made it through it, and then I went to the next step. Then now look at me. I'm sitting here at 54 years old, leading prayer Zooms, leading a huge team, um, freaking speaking my faith louder than I ever have. I'm on social media, just freaking sharing my testimony and not caring what anybody thinks because they don't run me. I just want, and literally got on my Facebook one time and said live, if you don't like what I do, you don't like what I share, you're an adult, you can absolutely hit that delete button. I will not be offended. It's like the trash taking itself out. If you ask me, I'm telling you, I will, if anything I share or say could help one person today or any day that I'm around, even just one person, just to even hear something I say, then I'll be damned if I be quiet.
Mhm.
And that is exactly what I said. Did I lose some people? Yeah. But I also brought a lot of people with them because they knew that I was true to what I said. Um, you know, that's what you have to believe. You have to believe 100%. If you're not believing in God and having faith in everything that you do 100%, and I'm not saying I do one every day, I ask Him every day to help me have that belief every day. But you have got to want it and believe it. And when you do, those things don't matter. You just keep focused. You only have to get through 24 hours. That's all you're given. You're not given tomorrow. That's not promised. When you wake up tomorrow, that's when you ask Him, okay, get me through this 24 hours.
Mhm.
Okay. So just get through this 24 hours. Do your best. And then you're going to be surprised what comes your way. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up because this business, what you think it is now, may turn out to be something that you never even dreamed of, just like I did 3 years ago. I wouldn't have seen it, never seen it in my life, even expected it. So wait it out and see what happens. Surprise us. That's what I always say, surprise me. I dare you. That's all.
Tracy,
Oh,
your story is amazing. Okay, like your story is the bomb. Like, man, you have such a testimony.
it's because I'm old. I just have a little more. That's all.
More experiences.
That's all. But
I know you're
seriously,
blessing a
so
lot of people.
but I just see so many people count themselves out, and I lived most of my life doubting myself from what people told me, what people dwelled in my head, and didn't even realize it till my last 10 years of my life that I even realized that that's what I was believing all this time. And
Yeah.
I see so many people walk away and just count themselves out when this is their chance to grow themselves. Had it not been for this business, I'd still be sitting in a bar drinking beer and eating pizza on my days off,
Lord.
and be broke and miserable. But this business, the self development, get around, stay by the fire, Somebody said, who was it, Tay, that said that little chunk of coal by the fire, if it gets further from the fire, it starts to dim out. It gets really far away from the fire, it goes black, it's done. You kick it a little back closer to the fire, it will spark back up. And that's what I think of. I can always feel when I'm starting to dim out, and I got it. Somebody kicked me back closer to the fire. So,
Yes. Thank you, ladies. This has been awesome. This has been amazing. I appreciate you guys coming to spend this evening with us, an hour out of your evening, to just pour into the squad. We do not take it lightly. So Tracey, can I ask you to pray us out?
oh goodness, yes I can. I'm not the best prayer, but God loves me no matter what. That's what I say on my prayer Zooms. I'm not like other people. He loves me and he expects it. All right, Lord, thank you for bringing all these ladies here in the sound of our voices and just letting us speak life and giving us the words to speak upon them. We just ask that we're brought here together, and anybody that watches the replay, that they just feel something. They feel your presence. They feel that faith that you are handing to us, and we just need to pick it up. Lord, I just ask for blessings over everybody's business, that you just bless us with abundance, that you surround us with the people that you want in our life, that are going to strengthen us and help keep us moving forward and just keep us positive and standing strong. 'Cause that's all you need us to do, is stand up. And we just ask you for that strength. Give us the strength to face tomorrow and just to reach as many as we can, expand our territories, Lord, and search our hearts and make sure that we are working from the right place in our heart. And we know that you will bless everything that we touch and bring on our teams, Lord. We just pray over everyone here that you just let everybody just close their eyes when they go to bed tonight and just hand all their worries, all their concerns, just hand it over to you, Lord. We're going to hand it to you and just ask you to bless every bit of work that we have done today. And we're not going to pick it back up until tomorrow morning. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate you. It's been amazing. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Good night, everybody.